Now, we are talking about the continuous voter registration, and we have the two agencies now, the state and the federal, and that are saddled with the responsibility of ensuring that people do, exercise their franchise when the time is right. But how do we get to that point? We start from somewhere, and starting is by, registering, making sure that you have your permanent voter's card. So I'll start with the Honorable Commissioner, ma'am. There has been a lot of talk about people not wanting to even register to vote after the last experience in 2023 and the voter apathy that people noticed. And also a lot of people saying things like, my votes won't count. Why should I go and waste my time? What do I need it for? Even if I register, I will not vote, and things like that. And they have discouraged more people from participating. So how has it been? What have you noticed now, the response of people with regards to registration, especially on the Plateau?
Thank you very much. Again, a very good afternoon to us on the Plateau. On behalf of the state government, I speak on this issue that is not just a responsibility for individuals, not just a responsibility for the federal, but for us to the last individual standing, because this is a call for, you can see what we're doing here today is synergy and making sure that things are done. The effect runs down from the top right to the bottom. Okay. So we want this information to cascade down, all the way down to our various grassroots localities for us to understand how important the issues of registration is. And this is why we have the National Orientation Agency collaborating with us in the Ministry of Information to ensure that this information gets to our people. They're doing their own bit too, and I must thank you, ma'am, for doing a great job on the Plateau. You've been so up and doing to ensure that the people of Plateau State are informed, and they are not just informed, but they have what it takes to exercise their civic responsibility. If you see that it is more on this aspect of people not wanting to come out, and then they are discouraging others, probably they do not understand what this responsibility comes. Like the saying goes that it takes two to tango. So it's the same thing where we expect from government, but there's a responsibility that comes from the citizens of the every state, and this is this call for such responsibility. Whether you like who is there or you don't like it, it's your right. There's every need to exercise this right. So for me, it will be a general call for people to understand the magnitude of what we're doing and to understand the importance of it as well, because this will not, it will put our voice on the table, at the national table. So this is something that we need to do. Whether it's, fortunately too, my son also turned 18, so it is something that before now it's not a conversation that he's even thinking towards, but now this is the call for everyone to come up and then do this registration. So this is why we're here this afternoon.
A call for everyone to come out and do this registration. I have a lot of young people around me, and there has been a lot of excitement. Sadly, they are yet to turn 18, so they cannot, register to vote. They have to wait until 2030. But then, before we do anything else, the National Orientation Agency, which is the agency saddled by government to orient people on the right thing. And earlier on, you made mention voter apathy, people not doing what is expected of them. The role of the National Orientation Agency now with regards to this kind of feelings that people have. There's no point, there's no need, I don't have to register. What does the agency do with regards to those kind of feelings, and how do you get to change it for people so they can participate fully and even look forward to the electoral process itself?
Thank you, Anita. Good afternoon once again. You see, the role of the agency is to create awareness. The role of the agency is to let the people know what government is doing, to continue to sensitize Nigerians. And now with this apathy, our work is to continue. The word is continuous. Continuous education, continuous mobilization, continuous sensitization. We will continue to do so. You see, a lot of people express this apathy. They don't want to participate in the elections. They complain about government, but they are supposed to begin to look inwards, look at their own potentials. What do I have as a person? What can I give to myself? What can I give to my immediate family? What can I give to my immediate community? What can I give to help the state to develop, to progress, to do better? If you ask yourself all these questions, then I'm sure you know already that you are already modifying yourself. You are helping yourself to be able to do a lot of things that will help you as an entity and the community you live in to be able to change for good. Apathy is not a good thing. Apathy comes from a begrudged position. When people are not happy, when people always complain, always want government to do things for them that they themselves know that they cannot. It's not possible for government to do it for them all at the same time. I just expressed this thing earlier on, that when you are sitting from a vantage position, you think that government should have come by now, by today. Okay, let me cite my own community. I live in Kangen Phase 2. Anybody who knows where Kangen Phase 2 is know how terrible my community is. I am a government official. I am close to government. I should have thought that with the number of people who are political appointees, who are senior government officials, that by now something would have been done about our community. But you need to go to our community to see how we struggle to come with that. Once it's rainy season, a lot of people don't come into that community with their cars. Like last year, I was about the only person that was going into that community to my house with my own car, because it's a little high. So you see, you don't expect that government will do this thing, all of you at the same time. I just cited an example earlier on, that when government maybe in the northern zone has more than 50 projects to do for people, she may pick 20 now, okay? And then in the central zone, she picks maybe 15. And then in the southern zone, she picks 10 or 15 and so on. We cannot get the government to do it all at the same time. Those who are privileged to have government do it, oh, you mean they are the only people that will vote when elections come? No. You have to tell the government that we are a community that are up to 500 persons here, or 500,000 persons, or 250,000 persons. Come out and vote. Let government see the number. By your number, they will be able to plan. You understand me? They will be able to plan for you. We don't have a PHC in my community in Kangen Phase 2. Kangen Phase 1 and Kangen Phase 2. We don't have a government PHC there. So when we continue to vote, it will show that government will be able to look at us, forecast, see the number on the dashboard, and be able to do something for us in that community. But when you continue to express your apathy, then how will government plan? How will government plan? This is what I keep telling the people. Don't stay away from elections because you are begrudged. Come out and vote and go and do a kind of protest. I have told you, go to your councillor's house, go to the local government chairman's house, go to the commissioner's house. She's here. Go to any other person that is appointed before you even get to the governor. You see, the reportage or the reporting begins from the ground to the top. You cannot just face the governor directly and say that this is what you have. Of course, if we have people who can take it to the governor for us directly, then fine and good, we are happy. It's a welcomed idea. But for me, apathy is not the best way to show that you are begrudged, that you are not happy with government, or that you are doing this or that. Please let us know that apathy is killing us. You are shooting yourself in the foot or in the leg. So please do the right thing by coming out to register, to collect your PVC. When the list of persons that have registered is on display, go check your name, ensure that it is the right name, it is the right spelling, it's the right community. And even when the polling unit is not captured correctly, at that point you make a complaint and there will be a change. Yes, that is it. That's the essence of the display, so that people will know. Oh yes, so that government can correct it before the final printing of the PVC.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, this point that you've made is very interesting. But the collaboration and the synergy now that the Honorable Commissioner made mention of earlier, between the Ministry of Information and the National Orientation Agency, both of them are saddled with the responsibility of getting people to know what is happening, what government is doing. Now, let's step outside the metropolis and go to the rural areas now. How far has the Ministry of Information and the National Orientation Agency gone with regards to sensitizing people in our rural communities? Some people call and say, we in the villages, we don't know about this. Nobody has called us. Nobody has told us, And sometimes when the information doesn't get to them the way it should, or when information trickles down, when it gets to them, it changes, from this person, one small item is removed, another one replaced, and they end up getting misinformed. So what is the Ministry of Information doing to ensure that this information that is being passed is actually the information that government has dished out, and it's the one that the people at the rural areas are getting?
Thank you very much. Before I respond to that, let me quickly just comment on what my sister just mentioned before I miss the point there. I'm very grateful. You can see she's very enthusiastic about her community, but her patriotism is still on us getting the right thing done. But let me also use this opportunity to let you know that on coming in this administration, we had a burden on the backlog of public health systems that we inherited, and what the attention we put on is to ensure that we have 227 state wards within Plateau State, to ensure that there is one functional PHC in every state ward. So that's where the attention is, to ensure that every state ward has one, because before now there are lots of wards that didn't even have. We had very little number of functional primary health care operating, and this is why probably if you fall Kangang falls within a state ward, you will find that the attention will be first on the state ward. I come from a community that we didn't even have. It was on this administration that we had our own secondary hospital, not to say talk of even primary. So it was this administration that commissioned the Mabudi General Hospital to functioning, and the support that we are getting, and then we have now at the ward levels too. So please, you will bear with us, but I thank you for your understanding on raising that issue. So you can also, I think she's a partner in the Ministry of Information. She can as well take the message to the community on that issue. Now, going back to your question on the role of what government is doing, this is one of the ways that we get information passed out. Whatever we're doing here is also being cascaded all the way down, and we have the media houses in the various zones, like in Langtang we have Ngapak, which is also airing the same thing. In Wase we have the Rock FM is doing the same thing. In Shandam we have the Agro. Then the central zone, they connect more with the state than the southern, so that's why those that are functioning in the southern zone are able to take these messages out there as well. But beyond this is that we have reduced these messages to jingles that are being played in Market Square and taking it all the way down. But let me tell you something, Plateau people are very informed though. The Facebook is very functional. In fact, you'll be here in Jos, they will call you from the village and tell you that, they heard that this is happening. So again, this is just like we're saying, a continuous reminder that, no, if we have done this much, let's do more. Let's do more. Let more people register. And to say the least, the registration has been so simplified. You don't have to go back to your ward to register. You can sit in the comfort of your home and do it online. So that makes life easier for everyone to be able to have access to doing this registration now. And then for those who even want to change their points of registration, it's so simplified by INEC now. So this is it's our responsibility. That will be my drive today. That let's all have this sense of responsibility, of participation in governance. This is what puts our voice out there. This is our voice. This is our mandate. This is our right. This is our position as a state. If you leave it to the fact that you think, because you're not, it's a game of number. If Plateau State is able to take a number there's no way the federal will not take Plateau very serious at the discussion table to say, no, we cannot joke with Plateau. Plateau has a voice. And the only way we can prove that we have a voice is in the voting. And how do you vote if you don't even have the
voting, your permanent voter's card?
Yeah.
For this registration of voters in Plateau State, just as the commissioner has said, you see the senior rovers are already out.
What are the senior rovers?
That is the mobilization vehicles that the state government has. That we already have, dispatched them to different communities, different localities, local governments now on the Plateau right now, not just south. I decided earlier, by tomorrow we'll get to just east, and then further to Riom in Ganauri market by tomorrow, by Thursday in Bokos, by Friday in Mangu, and then Dengi, and then other places, and then by Friday, Saturday, we would have covered the southern zone. Lantang, Shandam, Kwampan, and other places. We are targeting the Ampere market, the Dengi market, and other localities like that. Do not forget that since we have used the senior rovers, we have the mobilization officers who are under the National Orientation Agency that will be going to further localities that the rovers may not reach them. We will be using the COMOS to go further into localities. To use the megaphone and to talk to communities. It is not a one-off thing. It is not a one-off thing. When the rover goes round, the local government officers will be there to further do justice to this work. We want Plateau citizens to register. We are not saying indigenes. No, let someone who is not an indigene feel that we are talking to indigenes alone. No, we are talking to citizens of Plateau State. That is why I keep backing what the Indibo said the other day. He is not an indigene, but he is a Plateau man, and he is doing what is expected of him on the Plateau. Let every other person key into that. Let us do what is right, and when we do what is right, there's no how that we will not get it right. The governor has appointed beyond indigenes, into his cabinet, that there are some appointees that are not indigenes of Plateau State, and we are happy with that because he's romancing with all of them, and he is getting their buy-in. Okay, he's getting their buy-in. Please, there's no how we will say that it's only Plateau indigenes that will cast their vote. I appreciate that every other person who is resident in Plateau State and cannot travel all the way to just go register in Olu community in Imo State or somewhere like that. So please register here. You have the right to vote. You have the right to belong where you want to belong. The Constitution allows you to do so. And so our mobilization is ongoing, and we are going to, by the grace of God, tomorrow we are visiting traditional rulers, we are visiting religious leaders, we are visiting communities, and so on and so on. This work is so massive. I told you I'm so happy because it's the first time I'm collaborating with the state government, and it is so fantastic. Yes,
that's good. This kind of collaboration gives us joy, seeing that it is giving, it is getting the desired result. But I'm just thinking about language barrier. You talked about going to all the local government areas as much as possible. Most of the areas will be covered. What about language barrier? Do you have the personnel now that would be able to send this information across in the different languages in those communities that you are expected to visit? Does the orientation agency have the personnel that is needed for that exercise?
Thank you. Perhaps a lot of people in the state do not know. For your information, Commissioner Ma, that the way NOA works is that you are posted to your state of origin. I am a Plateau girl. I'm a Biram girl, and we are posted to your state of origin. In case, if there were no Plateau indigene that has the ranking that I have, they will look for someone who is nearest to Plateau State. Okay? Or they may use a younger officer, maybe a deputy director, and they will rise to this place because you have to speak the language of the people. Okay? In the various local governments, we have been directed to post indigenes of those local governments back to their local government so that they reach out to their people in their own local dialects. Okay? In Mangu local government, we have a Magavul officer who is there, who speaks the language of the people. And if not, we will get someone who maybe is from Panshin or from somewhere who speaks a tribe close to that a tribe or language that can reach out to the people. This is how National Orientation Agency is. And about our manpower, by the grace of God, we have manpower that is sufficient enough to go about this work without any problem, no hitches whatsoever. So we are up to the tax. We are on ground.
So Plateau people have nothing to fear.
Nothing
the
at
National
all.
Orientation is able and capable of handling the situation, irrespective of your ethnic affiliation.
Yes.
Listener, it's still the Plateau Project, and we are talking about the continuous voter registration exercise that is ongoing, and we are privileged in the studio to be hosting the Honorable Commissioner for Information and Communication, Plateau State, in the person of Right Honorable Joyce Ramnap, and she is here with the State Director of the National Orientation Agency in the person of Kaneng Pam-Hworo. We'll take a very quick break, and when we come back, we'll afford you an opportunity to be a part of this discussion. Don't go away.
Do you want to know what government agencies, organizations, NGOs, community groups, and individuals are doing to transform Plateau State? Tune in to Plateau Project, your informative and engaging radio program that showcases development, initiatives, success stories, policies, projects, and opportunities shaping our communities. Tune in every Tuesday from 12:05 p.m. to 1 p.m. Join us on PRTVC Radio as we bring decision makers, stakeholders, and development partners closer to you. Be informed, be inspired, be part of the conversation. Plateau Project, highlighting progress, promoting accountability, and connecting people to development. PRTVC, committed to you.
Welcome back to Plateau Project, and we are still on the continuous voters registration exercise that is ongoing, and the deadline is the 26th of July 2026, which is a few days away. Listener, now we have lines ready for you. I know some of you want to ask questions. The number to call is 0812-588-6048, and we already have a caller online. Hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Hello. Okay, now this person is not ready to talk with us. 0812-588-6048 is the number for you to call with your comments, your questions, and or your contribution on Plateau Project. And like we mentioned earlier, the Honorable Commissioner for Information and Communication, Right Honorable Joyce Ramnap, is here with us alongside the State Director of the National Orientation Agency, Kaneng Pam-Hworo. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, my sister. Good afternoon, Honorable Commissioner and the Director, and my sister Bianco.
Good afternoon, sir.
I'm calling from Blue Educational Center.
Okay. Mazi
Village, yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for calling.
I want to find out from the Commissioner and the... You see, when you go and register, like what we did 2 weeks ago, they will give you a piece of paper. And that piece of paper, the ink they are using is not too strong. And even the paper, there is training system. If you didn't laminate it or copy the problem before it talks about everything, the ink will just... It is not necessary for you people to advise INEC. In as much as they are giving people all these people, there is need. In those days when we went to school, as you are being registered in any place, they will produce hard copy of that card for you.
Okay.
But this time around, they will carry piece of paper. And the paper doesn't like water, is soap, straight. And it should be done as well. If somebody says, give him or her hard copy of this card, ID card, there and then, not telling somebody to go and come back. Go and come back. Maybe you're coming from a very fine, or maybe I'm going to go to any office there. It's not ready.
Okay.
Good afternoon.
All right. Thank you so much, sir, for that concern. And the issue you raised, the ink, he says, is not good. The ink that INEC that they print on paper, and it looks like the ink is not permanent. So whenever it rains or that slip comes in contact with water or even humidity, in the rainy season, the information on it can get smudged or can even, just run. So he is suggesting that you please contact INEC. I'm sure if INEC is listening, they will be taking note of that one. Another caller online. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Welcome to Plateau Project. Your name and where you're calling from?
Adeumi is calling you from Bauchi Road.
Okay, Adeumi from Bauchi Road. Go ahead.
Thank you. I agree with the Honorable Commissioner and the other guests.
Good afternoon.
Thank you for a wonderful analysis. You see, at first, if people believe their vote is come, the issue of voter apathy will become a thing of the past.
Okay.
Like someone like me, I don't even need National Orientation Agency to tell me to go and get my voter card.
Okay.
Because I know it is my responsibility to vote as a citizen. But on the other hand, you see, the late arrival of electoral materials is one of the things we are calling on. The first thing, if people will be at the polling unit, we will be calling. We have not gotten our ballot. We cannot vote. These are some of the things that are affecting people. And secondly, people will vote. After the vote, court will decide who wins the election. Are we going to be able to address this type of problem? Just imagine what happened on the Plateau when the Pastor Kaneng Pam-Hworo was in PDP. And
Hello?
we were told that the PDP don't have a
Hello?
Hello,
Adeumi, we're talking about the continuous voter registration, and you are talking about elections.
I just want to
Let's talk about that when we get to that bridge.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you. God
All
continue
right,
to bless
thank
you. I will
you.
still encourage every youth to go and get their voter's card before the date elapses. Thank you.
All right. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay. We are talking about the continuous voter registration exercise. When it comes to electioneering period, then we can talk about election matters. We have another caller online. Hello. Good afternoon. Hello.
Good afternoon, my sisters in the studio.
Good afternoon, sir. Welcome. Your name and where you're calling from?
Yes, you are speaking to Honorable Stephen Chojikin. They call me the ultimate from Barking Plateau State.
Okay. Go ahead, sir.
Honestly, I appreciate your trying to enlighten the people about the importance of registration, especially those that are 18 years and above, that are eligible but don't have the card, or those that must have missed their own or lost their own, or damaged their own beyond recognition or beyond function. Thank you very much for the opportunity INEC has given us as citizens to be able to register and even extending the time.
Okay.
But my problem is about the characters of Nigerians.
Okay.
The wrong attitudinal disposition of Nigerians. We are always not ready to take it and do things at the time when it is supposed to be done. Until the last minute and the last hour, you see people rushing. It is my advice that people should change that negative attitude disposition.
Okay.
Secondly, INEC is not doing the right thing, especially with relationship to illegal migrants. Illegal migrants that are migrating from all over the world into this country. From our foreign borders that are not being manned. Who are not only responsible for the things we are going through, but people that are infiltrating this country, and INEC is not making any adequate arrangement to see how they can be able to identify these people, because I cannot say that there's any way to identify an illegal migrant as far as the person is a black person.
Okay, well,
the moment somebody comes to this country, he access national identification paper, he access INEC voter's card, he access driver's license and other things.
Mr. Stephen,
what is INEC doing to be able to identify those illegal migrants? So that we will have a safe voting process. Thank you, and God bless.
All right. Thank you so much, Honorable Stephen, for that concern. Illegal migrants. Well, INEC is not here with us, we
can still attempt to answer that.
Yes, because the question is, how do you identify? Which is also the same thing we asked about underage voters. How do you identify somebody who is not of age and yet the person goes to register? We'll take one last call and afford our guests an opportunity to respond. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, the first lady to call. Your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Zamshak. I am calling from Mango.
The name again? Oh dear, we lost that call. We lost that call. The first lady to call, and yet we lost that call. I hope you can call back again. We have another call. Hello. Hello. Okay, this person is breaking the rules. You're supposed to turn down the volume of your radio before you call us so we can hear you. But we would look at the issues that that some of our callers have raised. And would take the one of Mazi Patrick Okoro. He's talking about the printing of the cards themselves. People have the opportunity to print, and he's wondering why INEC will not just print a card directly. They get to print it on paper. The weather, there's high humidity in the weather, in the atmosphere now because of the rains, and there's a possibility that that slip might not last till the time you would get the permanent voter's card. So what is your take on that suggestion by Mazi Patrick? I think, Honorable Commissioner, ma'am?
Well, I would say that this is something that we will have to note and then revert to INEC, and since we're not in position to take care of the process where INEC will do that, but our concern is, first of all, have that one.
Okay.
If you have that, that is what we can use to get the permanent one, as we have been doing with the process of our identity, the national identity.
Yes.
I know a lot of people did that so as well online, and then it was over time before they got the permanent one, because if you don't even have the paper to start with, you may not have access to get the card. So let's start the process by getting the paper
first.
and then that is some very, very useful information. By the way, thank you very much, Mr. Mazi is already Mr.
Yes. Mazi Patrick Okoro.
Mazi Patrick Okoro.
Okorafor.
Thank you very much. We will note that, and then we'll communicate that to INEC as well. And of course, the last caller who also dwelled a lot on the processes of INEC.
Yes.
I know that, of course, with the continuous education, it creates opportunities for us to see where things can be done better. So, like I always say, where we need to take the right information, we will do that.
Okay.
So we don't get disenfranchised, or we don't get our processes wrong.
Okay, and I think we'd like to talk about the character of Nigerians in closing now. The concern of Honorable Stephen Kim from Barkin-Ladi, our National Orientation Agency. We go to sleep until the 11th hour. You know, it's 3 p.m. We say 3 p.m. on Sunday, and that might be at 1 p.m. That might be when everybody will remember, and the network gets jammed, and